Introduction. God is in the house. America is great because she is good. This statement, often attributed to Alexis de Tocqueville and frequently repeated by politicians throughout the 20th century, inspires and dismays people today. In our time, we read it and wonder, is America still great? Is America still good? Our founding fathers were God-driven men who believed the hand of God guided them to establish this nation. Many Americans still feel personally grounded in the religious principles that inspired our forefathers to draft the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the Declaration of Independence. They yearn for leaders today who are driven by the same principles as our founders. By stark contrast, the mainstream media paints current government leaders, particularly the United States Congress, with a black brush. In fact, given these portrayals, it might be difficult for the average citizen to believe that today's office holders are anything like the Founding Fathers, leaders who believed in God and sought His assistance. Instead, we are fed a steady diet of reports that portray Congress members as corrupt, contentious, greedy, and immoral. Fortunately, the true state of affairs is not as bleak as the media's one-dimensional coverage might lead us to believe. While a few members of Congress might fit this unsavory depiction, most of them do not. Many members of Congress are faithful believers in God, who actively seek His assistance and inspiration as they serve the people of America. This book sets out to illustrate boldly what really goes on behind closed doors. Its purpose is to convince readers that God still indeed plays a role in guidance and direction as members of Congress seek His hand. Within these pages are first-hand accounts, stories of profound faith and testimony shared by the very men and women who serve in the hallowed halls of the United States Congress. This compilation opens to full view the hearts of currently serving and recently retired leaders, proving that they asked themselves and God profound questions in their decisions to run and in how they fulfill their responsibilities in Congress. These questions include: what is a person with a strong faith in God and the Judeo-Christian values of the Bible to do in such a setting? How does one's faith affect one's running for office? How does a Christian know whether he or she is being led by God or by one's ego to run for office? This book has been compiled with the goal of illuminating for the reader the lives of some of today's leaders from many different regions of our nation. Both Republicans and Democrats are represented, as no one party has a monopoly on faith. Examples of faith today include individual members of Congress who turn to God on a daily and sometimes hourly basis for guidance on how to lead, how to vote, and how to respond to our nation's crises. One testimony involves the healing of a congressman's wife and son after the physicians advised that only one or the other could live. Another testimony begins before the congressman was conceived, when his father made a promise to God during World War II that would influence his faith throughout his life. Yet another testimony includes how a scant faith was cemented in a POW camp before a firing squad. Yet another shows how, as a young man, a future congressman came to believe God knew him and had a purpose for his life. These pages include accounts gleaned from the lives of friends of Congresswoman Virginia Foxx, who came in contact with these men and women who love God during her time at a regular Bible study group, and the weekly prayer breakfast within Congress brought her to know their hearts. Dr. Foxx soon came to feel that Americans deserved to know that they are being represented by people very different from the faithless caricatures presented by the modern media. With care and hope, she worked to collect these heartfelt and revealing stories to inspire a renewed optimism in Americans who care whether Bible values still matter in the lives of those who lead this country. Each of the brief, inspiring testimonials that follow portrays God moments in the life and service, often the very decision to serve, of selected members and former members of Congress, in their own words. Faith-seeking Americans will find in these moving stories